In this video, we're going to go through the worksheet parallel lines and transversals. So that was the assignment to 5.5. It was the second assignment. All right, so on this, the first part of the directions say identify each pair of angles as corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, or same side exterior, and then tell if the angles are congruent or supplementary. Well, remember, for the second part, to be supplementary, they need to be the same side angle pair. So same side interior or same side exterior. Again, I'm writing with a mouse. Please bear with me. This says same side interior, interior or exterior. Okay. So the first question here, identify the angles as corresponding alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, or same side exterior. These are both to the right of the transversal and above the parallel lines, so these angles are corresponding. Since they are corresponding, they are congruent. All right, number two, these are alternate since they're on the opposite sides of the transversal. Alternate exterior because they're outside the parallel lines, so alternate exterior. Alternate exterior. So these are also congruent. Again, the only way you can have supplementary is if they are same side interior or same side exterior. These are alternate exterior. All right, keep on moving down here. Number three, these are just like number one, these are corresponding. So these are both above the parallel lines, these are both below the parallel lines. So these are corresponding. And therefore they are congruent. Number four, these are same side interior. There's that same side. So same side, S, same side, supplementary. Those angles are supplementary. All right, number five, these are alternate interior. They're on the opposite sides of the transversal, so alternate. They're inside the parallel lines, so interior. And they are congruent. One more time, you cannot have supplementary angles unless they are same side interior or same side exterior. These are alternate interior, so they're congruent. On these, they're opposite sides of the transversal, so we're going to say alternate. And they are outside of the parallel lines, so alternate exterior. Oh, alternate exterior. So they are congruent. All right, on the next two here, these are the worst two, but what we can do is scribble out the lines that we don't need. So I can actually use a white marker here and scribble out the ones I don't need. So this middle line segment here, I don't need that one. Get rid of that. And then I also don't need this other line segment right here. And if I could just scribble those out, so you'd have to do this mentally, or if you printed this worksheet out, you can scribble them out with a pencil, and you can see that now we just have two parallel lines and one transversal. So the other lines were additional lines that we didn't need. So these are alternate because they're on the opposite sides of my transversal. So alternate. And they are inside the parallel lines, so alternate interior. Therefore, they are congruent. They have the same angle measure. We're going to do the same thing on this one, so I can scribble out what I don't need. So let's see, I've got an angle here formed by these two lines, an angle there formed by those two lines, so I don't need this one. And then I don't need this one. It doesn't form either of the angles. So here, these are outside of the parallel lines, and they're on opposite sides of the transversals, so I'm going to say that they are alternate exterior. Alternate exterior. Therefore, they are congruent. All right, that's the first page. Going on to the next one. Very similar to those last two problems, I'm going to go ahead and just scribble out what I don't need. So this line right here does not form either angle, and while I'm at it, I'll just scribble out what I don't need on the other one. This ray does not form either angle. This one does not form either angle. And that's it. All right, so now on this number 9, these are inside the parallel lines and to the right of the transversal. So these are same side interior. Same side interior. So there's that SS. So SSS, same side supplementary. They are supplementary angles. They add to 180 degrees. These, just like number 1, are corresponding angles. And actually, I think that's... Oh, it's the same thing as number 3. Where am I? There we go. So number 10, number 3, it's the same thing. They just flip-flop the X and Y, I believe. Yep. But these are corresponding angles, so they are congruent. All right, on the next problem here, I've got the directions. Find the measure of each angle indicated. All right, so on this one, we're going to apply the knowledge we just used on the previous questions to help us find the angle measure. So these are alternate exterior. Because they're alternate exterior, I know that they are congruent. So this one should also be 110 degrees. So unless they are same side interior or same side exterior, they're going to be congruent. So this one, these are alternate interior, so they are congruent. So this is also 84 degrees. Number 13, these are same side interior. So same side interior, they must add to 180. So I'm going to say that this is x degrees. So 100 plus x needs to give me 180. And I know many of you are probably sitting there going, well, obviously it's 80. Okay, yes, it's 80, but I'm just going to solve this anyway. Subtract off the 100 from both sides of the equation, and you get x equals 80. So yep, that one is 80 degrees. All right, this one, they are alternate interior, so they are congruent. That is 111 degrees. Number 15, these are alternate interior, so this is also 125 degrees. On these, they are alternate exterior, so this is 47 degrees. 17, they're corresponding, so this is also 53 degrees. And on number 18, they're alternate interior, so this is 113 degrees. So unless you have same side interior or same side exterior, those would be supplementary, but otherwise they are congruent. All right, on the last page here, we have to solve for x. So this is a little bit different. You're given expressions in the place of angle measures. So let's use the knowledge we were just applying in the last 2 pages, though. This is, we're looking for the same side interior or same side exterior. If we have same side interior or same side exterior, then they're supplementary, and if not, they're congruent. So these are alternate exterior, so they are congruent. So 21x plus 6, if it's congruent with this, and again, that symbol tells me that this is 90 degrees. If it's congruent, it means it has the same measure. So this represents the measure, and it's the same as 90, so this is the same as 90. Remember, the symbol you can use for the same as is an equal to. So we can set up an equation in that way. So I'm going to go through all these problems with you just to set up the equation first, and then we'll go back and solve them. But that's the idea. So here, these are corresponding, so they are the same angle measure. They're congruent, so they're equal to each other. So 11x minus 2 is equivalent to, is the same as 75. On 21, these are alternate interior, so they're congruent. So 8x minus 4 is the same as 60, so it's equal to 60. And on this one, these are alternate interior, so those are congruent. So x plus 139 is the same as 132. These are alternate exterior, so negative 1 plus 14x is the same as 12x plus 17. And these are corresponding, so 23x minus 5 is the same as 21x plus 5. So that's what we had to do on all of these. So none of these were same side interior or same side exterior. All of them were the same because none of them were supplementary because they were not same side. All right, so here we go. Subtract out the 6 from both sides. You get 21x equals, subtract 6, you get 84. Divide both sides by 21. 84 divided by 21 is 4. On this one, add 2 to both sides. 11x is 77. Divide both sides by 11, you get 7. On 21, add 4 to both sides. And then divide both sides by 8. And you get 8. Over here, we need to subtract 139 from both sides, and we get negative 7. On this one, we can add 1 to both sides of the equation. If I add 1 to both sides, I'm going to get an 18 on the right here. Subtract 12x from both sides, I'll get a 2x over here. And then divide both sides by 2, I get x equals 9. On this one, I'm going to subtract 21x from both sides and get a 2x. Add 5 to both sides and get a 10 on the right. And divide both sides by 2 and get x is 5. All right, the last little section here, 4 questions. Find the measure of the angle indicated in bold. So I'm trying to find the measure of this angle here, this angle there, that angle there, or that angle there. Let me just double check the directions of the previous one. It did say solve for x. It did not necessarily say find the angle measure. So this one's a little bit different. Find the angle measure. All right, so here we're going to use the same idea as the last one, but after we solve for x, we would have to plug that back in to find the actual angle measurement. All right, so on this one, since these are same side interior, they're same side, so they are supplementary. That means when I add this with this, they add to 180 degrees. So x plus 96, when I add it to this one, x plus 96, they need to equal 180 degrees because they're same side interior, they're supplementary, same side supplementary. So now I need to solve this equation. That's my first step. So x plus x is 2x. 96 plus 96 is 192. Subtract 192 from both sides of the equation. Get negative 12. And then divide by 2 on both sides, you get x equals negative 6. So that is not actually my answer. That's what my answer would have been in the previous ones. But on this one, it says find the measure of the angle. So I need to find the measure of the angle by plugging this back in for x. So let me do this in a different color here. So my actual angle measure is not going to be x plus 96 anymore because now I know the value of x is negative 6. So x is negative 6. If I combine those together, I get 90. So the angle measurement is 90 degrees. All right, let's go through the same process on the next 3 here. So on these are same side interior, just like the previous one. So these two must add to 180 degrees, same side, supplementary. So 20x plus 5, if I add that to 24x minus 1, when I add them together, they must equal 180 because they're same side interior, so they're supplementary. 20x plus 24x is 44x. 5 minus 1 is 4. Subtract 4 from both sides of the equation. And 176 when I divide 44 on both sides here. 176 divided by 44. 176 divided by 44 is 4. But again, that's not my answer. I need to find the angle measure in bold here, so I need to plug 4 back in for x. So I'll use my different color here. So 20x plus 5 becomes 20 times 4, because x is 4, plus 5. So this is 80 plus 5, which is 85. So the angle measurement is 85 degrees. I'm going to do 28 first, and then I'll go back to 27, because this is just like 25 and 26. So these are, again, these angles here are same side interior, just like the previous two problems I just did. So they should add up to 180 degrees, same side supplementary. So x plus 109, if I add it to this other angle, so if I add it to x plus 89, they need to add to 180 degrees. So x plus x is 2x. 109 plus 89, yeah, that's 198. And then if I subtract up 198 from both sides of this equation, I would get negative 18. And divide both sides by 2, I would get x is negative 9. Obviously, that is not your angle measurement, because you can't have a negative angle measure. Well, we'll talk about that down the road. But if I plug in negative 9, I should say in Algebra 2, if I plug in negative 9 for x, so that is not my answer. I'm going to plug negative 9 in for x into the bold angle measurement. I get negative 9 plus 89. I should do this in the other color to be consistent. And then I'm going to end up getting x plus 89 becomes negative 9 plus 89, which is 80 degrees. So the measurement of that angle is 80 degrees. And just to clarify, you actually can have negative angle measures. I can explain it very quickly. If you start with a initial ray there and you go this way and you make the terminal side that way, that would be considered a negative angle. Instead of going up this way, that'd be a positive angle. But again, you'll get to there in Algebra 2 if you decide to keep on going with math. All right, so next up, 27, moving backwards from 28. Number 27, this angle and this angle here are corresponding, so they are congruent. So that means they are equivalent to each other. This angle measure is the same as this one, so they are equal to each other. All right, so subtract 5x from both sides, we get x by itself, and it equals 10. Plug that back in for x up here, and we get, oh, I'm using the wrong color. Oh, that's going to bug me. I got to go back. I got to redo this. All right, let's go back to, all right, this one, 6x equals 5x plus 10 because they are corresponding angles, so they're congruent. Subtract 5x from both sides, I get x equals 10. That is not my answer. I need to plug it back in for x into the angle measure that I'm looking for, into the expression that represents the angle measure. So 6x becomes 6 times 10, which is 60. So that angle measure is 60 degrees. There we go. All right, so that is the last question on the assignment. If you have any questions, let me know.